This movie stars Clint Eastwood as Mike, a one-time rodeo star and washed-up horse breeder who in 1978 takes a job from his ex-boss Howard to bring the man's young son home and away from his alcoholic mom. On their journey, the horseman finds redemption through teaching the boy what it means to be a good man. First of all, this is a movie that is ridiculously scattershot in its storytelling, all over the map with its characters, and spends the vast majority of its runtime meandering up until it feels it's time to wrap things up with a deeply unsatisfying ending. Mike and Howard have a past which comes up when the script calls for it, but they have zero chemistry. It creates a giant hole in the middle of the story. You never quite buy Mike and Howard's relationship and spend most of the movie waiting for the other shoe to drop, and when it does, it's underwhelming. The same case with the boy, Rafa, and generous widow Mike and Rafa come across, and the smattering of bad guys who enter and exit the movie's loosely constructed narrative with little fanfare or consequence. The relationship between Mike and the boy also reveals a staggering simplicity, genericness, and phoniness. You simply do not send a 19-year-old man to Mexico to do that kind of job. Some things that Mike did which require physicality is not even close to convincing. Never mind his love interest, who's 4 decades younger, making for some uncomfortable moments. This is the most bafflingly awful aspect of the movie. My character ultimately comes across as an overstuffed ego trip for Clint Eastwood. As the story is altered specifically around Eastwood's increasing years, any sense of conflict is similarly palliated. What should have been a hazardous trek across hostile lands is much more of a casual walk through welcoming towns. The unhurried nonchalance and open-ended storytelling are aggravating, while the lack of adventure is deafening. The directionless plot in this movie wouldn't be a problem if we actually enjoyed spending time with the central characters. Unfortunately, that's not the case here, as there is nothing engaging about their personalities. It doesn't take long for the movie to start making confounding and confusing decisions. It begins with a lazy setup to get the plot going, doing a hell of a lot of telling instead of showing, and takes a number of narrative shortcuts. Things only get worse once Mike and Rafa come together, as once the movie gets the characters on the road, it has no clue whatsoever of what to do with them. It could easily only take a single day to drive from Mexico City to the Texas border, but the film manages to stretch out the excursion over multiple weeks, and most of the conflict encountered has nothing to do with the plot. Overall, this is not a good movie at all. It's a huge disappointment as we expect more from Clint Eastwood's movie. We do not recommend this movie at all.